So I wanted to let you know there are some places that you don't want to live. Now, stick with me on this. And at the end, I'll let you know the different places that are best for you to be in Silicon Valley. So when you're looking at Silicon Valley as a whole, you think about three main different lifestyles. One lifestyle is going to be kind of the city, the hustle, the bustle. Another lifestyle is going to be maybe the rural lifestyle. There are equestrian type of areas in Silicon Valley. And then the third, but definitely not least, is the beach lifestyle. If you are not into the beach, if you do not want to go to the beach, then you definitely do not want to go to Santa Cruz. And Santa Cruz is kind of the city of the beach area. So if you don't like the beach, and if you don't like the city, then Santa Cruz is definitely not for you. If you do like the beach, but you like it a little less crowded, then there's plenty of other places. Santa Cruz and Altos, those kind of tend to be the places that everybody gathers to. Then if you go further out on one, those areas tend to be a little more rural. Like if you go up to Half Moon Bay, you have a much more rural type of a drive. The beaches do get crowded there, but the further you go up, the less crowded they get. So that's what I would say as far as that's where you don't want to be. If you love the crowds and you love the city and you love the beach, Santa Cruz is a place for you to be. Santa Cruz, Aptos, that's the place for you to be. If you don't like small towns, take a step away from the beaches. If you don't like small towns, if you don't like the feeling of enjoying other people around you, then the really cool downtowns that we have, there's a lot of them in California, a lot of them in Silicon Valley. And just to name a few would be something like Sunnyvale. Sunnyvale is actually, they revamped their entire downtown. So it's very cool. But if you don't like to be around people, that's not where you want to be. There's really good shopping down there. There's a lot of good stuff in Sunnyvale. That's very, very cool. And like I said, they revamped it. And there's parts of San Jose as well. In San Jose, the shopping center, you have the ability to live there. And they've built this to be really amazing. But again, not where you want to be if you don't like crowds. But Santana Row. Santana Row is an amazing place. Fantastic restaurants. It's busy, but there's fantastic restaurants. And just absolutely amazing, amazing things to see. It's very intertwined because you have the living, you have the mixed use, you have living, and you also have the shopping, you have the restaurants. So it's very busy and it's a very great place, very cool. But again, if you don't like people, that's not the place to be. So Sunnyvale, Santana Row, downtown Palo Alto, downtown Los Altos, very cute little beautiful towns, and they have very good restaurants and they have very good shopping as well. But again, if you don't like to be around people, probably not for you. Downtown Mountain View, another great area. They've really built up downtown Mountain View, another wonderful place to be. If you go further up, going further up, there's Redwood City. Redwood City has a really cool downtown area. And then if you go back into the Silicon Valley, the Bay a little further, Cupertino. Now, Cupertino is an interesting one because that could be a perfect mix for you if you don't want to be around too many people, but you kind of like the feeling of being around people, but maybe at an arm's distance. Not sure what your speed is, but Cupertino might be a good one for you. Cupertino is actually a very cool little town, and Cupertino, you can actually go into the hills and go from the Cupertino directly into Los Altos. And so you can actually be right on the border of Cupertino, Los Altos and not even know it. And Cupertino, if you're on the border of Los Altos and Cupertino or certain parts of Cupertino, you feel like there's nobody else on earth. So Cupertino, if you're kind of looking for that best of both worlds, we have a lot of towns in California and Silicon Valley that are like that. And then if you really want to start to get into the equestrian type of lifestyle, we can look back over a little further north to Pescadero. We can stay in the Redwood City, Pescadero area and kind of push out into the hills there, parts of Los Altos. Then if you really want to kind of get away from it all, you can go to South County. And South County is going to be the Morgan Hill area. Now, Morgan Hill has really grown a lot. Morgan Hill is a great area, and the values have gone up a lot. You still get a lot more bang for your buck in Morgan Hill than you do other places. One thing about Morgan Hill also is that you can also go to the outskirts of Morgan Hill, a lot more country feel, and there's a really cool downtown in Morgan Hill also. And below Morgan Hill, you have San Martin, and San Martin is actually known for equestrian. San Martin, there's plenty of horses around, there's plenty of country, and it's definitely the small town feel. And then you have Gilroy, which takes it from the equestrian along with into the farmland. One thing to know also is that much of Silicon Valley was built in orchards at one point. So when you look at the houses in these different areas, like if you look at Sunnyvale, for example, there's a lot of areas in Sunnyvale that were orchards, and there's still orchards there, but there was also a cannery there. And so the cannery there, the Del Monte Cannery in Sunnyvale, has a lot of history to it. What's really cool about that is some of the housing tracts that are close to it, they were kind of the canning houses. So where the workers would live when they were working at the cannery. So that's really cool as well. There's so much charm and there's so many different things about Silicon Valley. I'm not even giving it any kind of real credit here, quite frankly. But any questions that you have about Silicon Valley, I'm always happy to help. I love Silicon Valley. I've lived here for many years, and I've lived in multiple parts of Silicon Valley, as well as other parts of California. But I've always found myself back here in Silicon Valley. Silicon Valley is very charming. Whatever type of lifestyle you're looking for, you're gonna find it here. Silicon Valley is filled with wonderful, great, kind people. And if you're looking for that nice, slow pace, kind of stay to yourself, being quiet kind of scenario, then you're going to find it somewhere in Silicon Valley. If you want to be in the mix of it all, in the hustle and bustle and get amongst it, you're definitely going to have that as well. There's no issue with that as far as getting the hustle and bustle of the Silicon Valley. Silicon Valley has its own feeling of hustle and bustle. You have top achievers in Silicon Valley who want to continue to perform and want to continue to build, want to continue to be very creative and find new ways to make things work for the world and for Silicon Valley. It's really kind of interesting. Many times, if you're in the hub of Silicon Valley, many other places that I've been to, you won't see somebody cruise by on an electric skateboard or on a board that is just a single wheel board, or have a Tesla pull up, or have a Ferrari pull up, or have all of these different types of fun things that you can see and literally just talking to a friend on a corner. And that's just being in the kind of the hub of Silicon Valley. It's also very rare to be able to go from that to be able to go to being an equestrian in the same day and riding your horse, or being active and going for a hike within 20 minutes, or even within 45 minutes to an hour, depending on traffic, even 45 minutes to an hour, getting over to the beach. Whatever it is that you want, whatever lifestyle it is that you want, you'll find it right here in Silicon Valley. It's a wonderful place. It's filled with wonderful people, wonderful opportunity, and quite frankly, I don't think there's any place like it on earth. If you have any questions, please give me a call. Phone number is 408-393-9294. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Talk to you soon.